How's everybody doing? And thanks for tuning in to Wicked Warnings, your number one source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting and equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, canoes, overland vehicles like this beautiful 2021 Jeep Gladiator. Now, there's been a little bit of suspension work to this Gladiator. Had a nice set of tires and rims put on it, a couple of bumpers added on it, looks like, and a winch in the front as well, and some pod lights above the windshield. But what we're looking at right here, what you're seeing right there, is our blue package. This entire build, by the way, is available in all four popular colors: blue and white, amber white, red and white, green and white. So if blue isn't your style, pick a different color. You can get it in whatever color combo you want. The way we did this build was two functions: color flash and a steady white override. Now, if you want a color and white flash, no problem. It'll do that too. But this build was just one color, no white. Totally selectable. What we've got in the front there, underneath the factory front signals, is our Thin X blue white, running only blue on a very rapid ping pong flash pattern. What we put next to that on the upper edge of the front fender by the headlight and by the hood latch there is our 15.5 Thin X strip. There you can see a little better picture of it, basically right above the front wheel. I chose this because this particular owner is a volunteer fireman. So if you see these lights out there on the street one day, get out of the way. That's the reason we put them on, is he's having a little bit of problem getting to call when he's needed and getting through traffic. So he's authorized to run some blue. So this is what we did for him. Now, I did the side lighting the way I did because that's critical for when you're going through an intersection or a stop sign or anywhere else that there's congested traffic in otherwise area directly in front of you. So if you're in an instance where the traffic's off to the sides, that's what these front lights are really going to shine and do. The two on the front, directly underneath the factory lighting, take care of all the forward warning for the people that are directly in front of you. But these side lights in the front are absolutely critical when you're moving through traffic that's around you, not only in front of you. Now, as I said earlier, we did put the flood white feature on these lights as well. So his auxiliary switch number 4, this, by the way, is powered by his factory auxiliary switches. Auxiliary switch 3 was the flashing. Auxiliary switch 4, as you can see, is the flood white. This is just a steady white override. You can use with or without the flashing, but if the flashing's on, the flood white will override. And all the lights featured in this video have this feature. And this is the secondary color, as I said earlier. If you wish to flash white and blue, you can. If you wish to flash white and green or white and amber, you can. If you want to flash only amber, you can. Now, you will need to purchase the corresponding color products. This is not a multicolor product, to be clear. We have this strip available in 2 colors: blue clear, amber clear, red clear, green clear. That's the combinations. Alrighty, now the last thing I'll touch on before showing you what we did around the back is that we tinted these as well. This is our in-house service, and this was a spray tint we put on this one, and I would call this the darker version of the tint. We wanted to make sure it went in with the rest of the theme of this Jeep. Asked the owner if it would be good with them, and they actually thought it was as good an idea as we did. So when the lights are off, they pretty much disappear. You can see there how that Thin X on the fender just blends right in. Now, I might take an artist's brush later and touch up them stainless screws with some black epoxy paint. That's optional. Otherwise, it still looks pretty good the way it is. And that's, again, the dark tint version of the service on our website. If you're ordering, you'll need to add that service in if you'd like it. Now, the tint is optional, so I'm going to make it optional. I'm not going to force tint on this package. So if you want the tint, we're going to link to it. We're going to put it in there, but it's an optional item. Alrighty, before we light them up around the back, I wanted to show you the view here, what you're going to see. Now, I'm not messing around with the ISO or anything. I can actually lighten it up quite a bit for you if you want. You could just kind of barely see them there. Now, the ISO on auto gets you right back where there's your auto. No, there's your auto ISO. So they're nice and smoked. In the black Jeep, they disappear quite nicely underneath that taillight. And here you go. As you can see, they create a nice blue flash. Now, that's the same strip we featured on the front fender, but as you can see, a different flash pattern. Because once the Jeep is past you, the warning isn't as critical. We went with a little slower triple flash, and I chose to alternate the entire strip just to give a bigger, bolder punch of blue. So this way, as the Jeep goes around through traffic, those that didn't see the front lighting will see the backlighting as he goes by and understand exactly why he's moving through traffic the way that he is. Now, as you can see out to the left there, our back door's open. It's fully bright in here today. Our lights are on, and this is the brightness of our Thin-X strip. I can dial down the ISO on the camera to give you a little bit more clear picture, but this is the brightness in everyday condition here, and this is actually on auto ISO. This is kind of where the camera landed by itself now. I like this Thin-X strip. It creates a real good warning. I would say almost close to 180 degrees. When you get really off to the side, like we are here, you can still see them quite well. So in real life, they're doing a great job underneath the tailgate of this Jeep, just like they do under Super Duties and F-150s. So again, I'll touch on it one more time. We have all of these lights, the Thin-X strip and the Thin-X, in all the different color combos. So if you're a red runner, we can do them in red. If you're security and you're working with green, we can do them in green. And they're with or without the white flashing, with or without the white override, all up to you, directly on how you wire it in. Alrighty, back around front just to talk a little bit about how we wired everything the way we did it. Now, the two Thin-X strips in the back were joined together, and we ran a single 18.5 forward. So we're going to put a 30-foot piece of 18.5 to run from the back of the Jeep forward to underneath the hood on the passenger side where the factory auxiliary switches are. Now, if you don't have factory auxiliary switches, no problem. Head on over to our switch category and get yourself a switch and a fuse kit for your battery and some extra wire so you can get set up. This Jeep here has auxiliary switches, so we're going to make this package set up for a Jeep with auxiliary switches. That 18.5 will run forward to one of your factory switches. We're using switch number 4 for the flood white, switch number 3 for the warning. Now, on the front fenders, that's the same 15.5 Thin-X strip, and below it is the two Thin-X themselves, the 6-inch version. We extended all 4 of those lights with our 22-5 each. We brought them all over to the auxiliary switches, and that's where we combined all our powers, combined our grounds. We took our grounds to battery. We synchronized anything we wanted to synchronize. At that point, you can elect if you'd like to alternate the front fenders. You can, just like we did in the rear. I went with a more radical, faster pattern. Your choice on how to do all that, because with the 22.5 extensions on all 4 of those lights, you have the ability to sync anything you want. So that way you can choose exactly what display you want. So you're going to get 25 feet of our 22.5. You're going to get 30 feet of our 18.5. You're going to get your 4 Thin-X 15.5 strips. You're going to get a package of adhesion promoter. That's to help get that 3M bond with the double stick tape on the back of the Thin-X strip. We're also going to get the 2 Thin-X lights, and we're going to put in some 1/8 and some 3/16 heat shrink, as well as some uninsulated butt connectors to make all your connections easy. If I missed anything on this, let me know. If you need more, feel free to browse around our tools selection and accessories and take a look at all the different other things that we have. Thanks again for watching Wicked Warnings, your #1 source for construction and emergency safety strobe lighting and equipment for cars, vans, buses, bicycles, tricycles, and 2021 Jeep Gladiator, just like you see here. We'll see you on the next video.